Greetings, greetings, greetings. I told you I was coming back again this week. It's Linda Talaferro from the T the Extra Effort. Wanted to share some more with you this week regarding your career journey, and specifically tonight here on the in the Midwest where I am. It's 9 p.m. Where I am on the Midwest. What I want to share with you tonight is how you can get your shoulder tapped for that promotion. Because I know in our career journeys, that seat at the table for most people represents a promotion of some sort. Our end goal may be an executive position, but along that journey, we are looking to make those ladder climbs to the next step. I would offer to you, though, don't sleep on the lateral movements when you're doing this corporate journey. I've done tons of lateral movements in my career, and I often say that the corporate ladder is not one that goes straight. It definitely is one that has a lot of crisscrosses, and even some of the journey steps you back a bit. But along the journey, those rungs on the ladder can be quite long, with narrow gaps in between, and sometimes no guardrails. I show it in a presentation I do quite often for my journey, sharing career career trauma to career triumph, where I show a picture of a ladder that represents what I believe is most corporate journeys to that seat at the table. So specifically tonight, I want to talk about how you get your shoulder tapped. I know most of us believe it's rooted in specifically just being good at what we do, getting those degrees from the best schools, getting the certificates, getting all the training and education, hitting all the metrics. I actually talked to a client tonight that's on the West Coast, and she has made massive strides in her career since we've been working together since January, and we're about to wrap our engagement. And she was sharing her growth and the shift that she made, the mindset shift she had to make in order to get her shoulder tapped. And she actually now is getting the secret sauce from someone she never thought she would, actually, on what it would take within her corporate environment to get to that next seat that she has. So she's well on her way. And just like what she had to learn, just like what I learned, what is just very common is that it has nothing to do with how good you are. I shared that just yesterday when I was on a live. So I want to talk specifically tonight about how you get your shoulder tapped. And you see a share there. I'm going to be sharing that in a few minutes, what you see on the screen. First of all, you've got to decide that you want to know what it takes. You got to decide, you got to understand that whatever you've been doing to date that hasn't been working, that you clearly need a shift. You need a change. And that shift, I would implore you to consider, that shift is around understanding, identifying what your real gaps are. Why have you been passed over? Why do you not even know? Forget being passed over. Why do you not even know what it takes within your organization to have your shoulder tapped? Because you should know it, right? You should know it. It should be very clear, crystal clear to you. So why do you not know it? And what are your real gaps to getting there? And I specify real. I put an emphasis on real. I would even put quotes around it if it was written down on real, because there's a difference between identifying strengths and weaknesses and identifying what really is going on, what really is in our way. And so that is the main ingredient to you understanding and being able to go from not having your shoulder tapped to having your shoulder tapped. It's twofold in the way you get that done. So you say, okay, Linda, I hear you. I need to understand what those gaps are. I need to understand the why, and I need to understand what the gaps are. I hear you say that, Linda. But how do I do that? Well, there's a couple ways you can do that. One way is getting feedback. And that you can get feedback in various mechanisms, right? You can have direct conversations with your boss, direct conversations with colleagues, direct conversations with people you have been on a team with, that you've worked on a project. You can have those direct conversations, that one-on-one give and take dialogue to get some feedback. You can do it formally via a 360. You can raise your hand, your HR department, your talent management department, whatever that's called in your organization. You can say, I would like a formal 360 done. I've had several of them in my career. The most invaluable process. And I will tell you, the one I had done when I joined the company I'm at today, and the vice president seat that I'm in, bar none, was the best that I've ever had done, because it was not checking the box and giving ratings or scores. It was actually a dialogue that the assessor did with the individuals I identified, and it was paragraphs of information. What I do with my clients is like that. There are questions where there's paragraphs and it's a deep dive. So 360 assessments can be powerful. That could be one way, but the most valuable, feedback's great. Direct conversations are great. 360s are great. But the most valuable method of you identifying what your gaps and opportunities are is to do a deep dive, the introspective, hard work that we tend to not even connect with being important in our career journey. We don't even think about it. And then when we do, we're like, oh, I don't need that. That has nothing to do with me getting a seat at the table. And I'm telling you, it has everything to do with it. It has everything to do with it. Everything to do with it. So I would recommend to you, first, schedule the meetings, get your feedback, identify the key stakeholders, do your Zoom calls, get on the phone, have some dialogue, ask some questions, get some feedback, and get your 360s launched. Doesn't matter if you're working remotely or in this work from anywhere world that we have now with the virus going on. Those things can still be done. But here's the difference. If you are struggling with how you can go about doing the introspective work, I want to share with you what I have here that I'm going to figure out how to pull up on this screen. There we go. Oh, I am going to add this back to the screen, and we are going to talk about specifically the method by which I believe would be extremely helpful for you. And this is my AMA method: accelerate, maximize, and achieve. This is a very specific way that I know for a fact will make it easier for you to be able to peel back and be able to do that introspective work. And it's right here in the accelerate portion of the method that I use with each one of my clients. Well, and it says here, move past uncertainty, do a deep dive, and there'll be no doubt that you will get clear understanding. And then what, in that process of doing the deep dive, this is exactly what we do. Peel back, connect, and grow. It is so important for you, similar to an onion, to take the layers off yourself, to really just open yourself up to yourself so you can really understand who you are and how you show up. Exactly what it shows here under peel back. Gain a clear understanding of who you are personally and who you are professionally. Then you want to connect. You want to be able to connect that information that you received and get very clear about your stuff. Own it, and then learn how to leverage it so that you can do what I love to say is flip the negativity, flip the script, rewrite the script, control your narrative in the workplace of your career, and then last but not least, grow. Last but not least, grow. See some real impact, some differences that can happen for you when you do that process. That's how I can make the introspective work for you easier. Absolutely. Because it's so important. It's fundamental. The impact you get from others is important. There's no doubt. The feedback you get via 360 is important. There's no doubt. But then what do you do with that? And is it enough? Is the key. It's valuable pieces of information, no doubt. But is it enough? Does it really translate to who you are deep down inside? And then the mindset shift that you need to take so that you show up differently and you control that narrative going forward. It's extremely critical. So that's how you get your shoulder tapped. You want to know how to get promoted? You want to know how to get that seat at the table? That's how you do it. You got to understand what the real challenges are, what your real opportunities for improvement are. And I love calling them opportunities. You rarely hear me use challenges and weaknesses. I don't use that type of language because I find them as opportunities. It's all in how you view things. That's how you get your shoulder tapped for a promotion. Love to have y'all. Put the link. If you're watching this on the replay or checking it out live with me right now, would love to have you join my private Facebook group. I share stuff like what I just shared, that AMA method PCG. For those of you that follow me, you may have seen it just recently posted. That's my framework. And it definitely makes this corporate ladder climb, this journey, this seat at the table, this avoiding getting passed over a lot easier. But that's the first step. So if you do nothing else after listening to this video over the next several weeks, look in the mirror, get you some Post-its, sit with a girlfriend, male friend, whoever friend, over a glass of whatever, or a good meal, and do some serious deep dive, some serious work, some serious introspective work. And be honest. Be honest. Don't front. Don't pretend. Be honest. Take some notes. And then go about shifting that, flipping that to your benefit. Have a great rest of your evening, day, wherever you are in the world. I'll see you next time.